happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now you guys can probably already tell that it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely gonna want to check this one out. So we're getting a first-hand look at yet another woke liberal host meltdown as she attempts to ignore the truth all while being schooled on the facts, y'all. I'm excited to get to this one, so we're not straight into it. All I ask that you guys please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and without further ado, let's hop straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Reaction now from Harrison Fields, special assistant to President Trump. He's also the White House principal deputy press secretary. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So we'll start with the Supreme Court says you must facilitate Garcia's return. Is anyone in the White House actually trying to do that?
Well, let's level set a little bit. The Supreme Court also acknowledged that the district court acted outside of their bounds when it comes to the president's Article 2 authorities when it comes to immigration. And they said that essentially El Salvador has the jurisdiction now on whether or not to release this individual. El Salvador's president came out today and basically said he's not going to do so. So now this individual will stay there. But I also want to correct the record. The framing, and I'm glad you talked about Rachel Morin because she hasn't gotten any coverage from the mainstream media, and her senator, Chris Van Hollen, who's sending letters about this man and had no letters to do with Rachel Morin. But the reality is this wasn't a Maryland father. This was a El Salvadorian man who was illegally in this country, who was affiliated with MS-13.
There is no evidence to that.
Let's set the record straight about who this person is.
There's no evidence that he was a gang member.
With all due respect, if the Department of Justice has come out and said that he has gang affiliations, just like the same man who killed Rachel Morin had gang affiliations. So you would have told me before Rachel Morin's death, you would have defended that man and said he had no gang affiliations, and he went on to kill Rachel Morin. So instead of defending this gentleman, talk about who he actually is and talk about the risk in keeping illegal criminals in this country. This is exactly what President Trump was elected to do, to return these people back to their home countries, and that's what he did.
We're not defending him. I'm going to reiterate that is unsubstantiated. There is no evidence of him being a gang member. He is married to a U.S. citizen, and he was in this country legally. Okay, but we don't know if he was
Being
actually...
married does not make you not a gang member.
There's no evidence. We're going to move on. There's no evidence that he was a gang member, and I want to reiterate that to our viewers.
The Department of Justice came out and said there was credible evidence that he was a member or affiliated with MS-13.
You said he's a gang member, and he wasn't legally allowed to be here, which, again, he was legally allowed to be here. And he is married to an American citizen.
You can hold court for him all you want. He's no longer in this country.
All right.
One person, the Americans are safer because of it.
And to go back to the original question, so right now the White House seems to be doing nothing about getting him back, and that's fine. I'm going to move on.
He's an illegal immigrant.
Okay.
He was here illegally with deportation orders in 2019. What part of that do you not understand?
I understand the story very well, and I'm going to stop going back and forth with you on this, but I will say, again, he had every right to be in this country. Is there any scenario under which
he was an illegal immigrant.
We're going to move on this.
No, I will not let you go forward.
Okay.
He was an illegal alien in this country with a deportation order in 2019. He is an El Salvadorian citizen. If you are not a citizen of the United States of America here illegally, there are grounds to deport you, in which happened recently.
Again, unsubstantiated. Those are not the facts, but I will move on. President Trump says he supports sending violent Americans to El Salvador. What kind of people are we talking about here? Luigi Mangione, of course, the arson suspect who attacked Governor Shapiro's home. Who are we talking about? What constitutes as a violent American citizen to be sent to a mega prison in El Salvador?
Well, he talked about examples, people that are throwing people in front of subways, that are clobbering women over the heads with hammers. Again, the president mentioned this idea. There'll be forthcoming announcements if the law, and I'll repeat, if the law dictates we can do this. But the reality is the president was elected on law and order and making America safe again. It was exactly what he's doing, which is exactly what the Attorney General Pam Bondi is doing. And listen, you can say all you want about Bukele and the way he's running his country, but the reality is he's got a 90% approval rating because El Salvadorians feel safe again in their country. Why is it that America can't conduct the same safety measures to ensure that men, women, and children are all safe in this country?
So the same safety measures as El Salvador? Same safety measures as El Salvador.
protecting the streets. That's not controversial. Unless it is now at News Nation, that would be news to me.
That is not true, and you know you're distorting my words. But again, we're gonna move on. Trump is turning over federal land.
I have serious questions. You're defending this Maryland father of four.
I'm not defending him. I'm saying the facts, and I haven't said anything negative about O'Kelly at all, or his positive rates in his country. That has never been brought up. Okay. Trump is turning over.
Do you have a problem with the way he runs criminal justice in El Salvador?
It's not my job to say whether I think he's running his country well or not. That's not my job.
But we think he's doing a great job, and the people of El Salvador think so too.
Noted from the Trump administration. Thank you for that. I am going to move on now. President Trump is turning over federal land along the border to the military. The AP reporting today that the Army will control it as part of a base there. Is the intent for troops to help detain migrants at the border as well?
We have all hands on deck at the southern border. The president was elected to secure that southern border. We cannot allow what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris allowed. We had over 20 million illegal immigrants coming to this country, many of them who have committed crime, the initial crime of crossing the border illegally. But then you've gone on to see what we've called migrant crime. Crime after crime in which you've seen Rachel Morin die, Jocelyn Nungari die, Laken Riley die. The president was elected to defend Americans, which is what he's doing when it comes to securing that border. And he has full support from the American people to do so.
So just answering the question, is the intent for troops to help detain migrants at the border as well?
As I mentioned earlier, that all hands will be on deck at the southern border to ensure that this border is impenetrable and that we regain operational control and safety at the border, which Joe Biden gave over to the cartels, in which they had operational control over the southern border. Why any president would allow that to happen is truly unbelievable. But President Trump is making sure that we have semblance, that we have law and order and safety at our southern border. It's a matter of national security to do so, not just at our southern border, but also at the northern border.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Oh my goodness, that was Harrison Fields absolutely mopping the floor with that News Nation anchor, and you could tell this woke host she was caught off guard. She had her back against the wall and did not know where to go. She kept trying to move forward from the deportation orders, the courts, 2 different courts ruling that this guy was a gang-affiliated MS-13 member. Also, I seen a new update. I mean, with all these liberals trying to go against and say that this guy should be in Maryland, he's a Maryland father of 4. I also read a report right before I started recording this video that the Tennessee Highway Patrol actually stopped this Maryland man and father of 4 back in 2021 with 7 passengers inside of a van. 7 passengers, 8 total, including him. And he said he was traveling from Texas around the border to Maryland with these folks. And we know how trafficking underneath the Biden administration was on the rise, the influx. There was no answers for that at all. It said the Tennessee Highway Patrol actually had to let him go, release him, because they got in contact with the FBI and they couldn't really, say they could detain him or keep him. So they just let him go, thanks to the Biden administration. I don't think this was a mistake. Deporting this man, this El Salvadorian man. Let's stop saying this Maryland man and father. That's not what he is. He's El Salvadorian, and he went back to his country where he came from, whether there was a threat on his life or not. He came into this country illegally, did not follow the rules, the procedures that are in place, and he needs to go back. I mean, our country is safer because of it. I mean, what are we going to tell this Rachel Morin's mother, the one who just got up there, White House press briefing, crying her eyes out, telling us a story of how her daughter was been ignored. So Harrison Fields was right in this situation. That's exactly why we just seen that host looking like a deer caught in headlights. I mean, a woke News Nation, we're seeing that they're standing for the rights of known criminal aliens, these gang members, over the rights of American citizens. Guys, hop in the comment section. No, comments are open. I'm excited to hear what you guys are thinking on this one. Also, make sure you guys please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next week.